we are now starting with the knife round on this match between Rectify Gaming and Orion. Your CSGM casters for tonight are me, Rack, and...
Hopefully TJ. Who knows? I might have been replaced.
Yeah, possibly. Looks like Orion is going to win.
Yep, Orion pick up the knife round, so we do get into it here on Cobblestone. I believe it's just one map this evening, so it will be Orion versus Rectify Gaming on exclusively Cobblestone, and Orion is going to end up over on the CT side. Rectify picking up that terror side. I actually watched Rectify versus Impact on Cobblestone earlier this week, Rack, and they went down unfortunately hard.
Do you know if they started on T, like they've gone?
I believe Rectify started on T, yeah.
So interesting
because
to see how this one shows up. Yeah.
I think they started on T, but I'm gonna be honest, my memory's a bit faulty. Orion, though, nice stack. 4 players over towards the B site at the beginning of this. Rectify going for a more slow poking play with the bomb over towards the A site. That's a very nice engage for Rectify. If they're able to sniff out this stack, they should be able to instantly punish it.
Just slow play on this T pistol side. They may have well learned their lesson just the other night. But now SGM will get that flashbang in the face. He is going to make a call for at least one of his teammates to rotate. But now, as Filthy and SGM are going to pick up some frags with help as well, the full rotate will begin towards the A-bomb site. With now, it is just Harden and Atlas against the world here. Harden's going to pick up a frag onto Filthy, but Gizzy is going to trade that out. SGM to finish off Atlas, picking up the first round on the board of Orion.
Yeah, it was a very awkward engagement there for Rectify, and I'm actually a little bit curious what the plan was, because they had a group of players over on drop, and had the drop players pushed for Rectify, they would have instantly seen 4 or 5 Orion members right there, and gone, oh, we should go A hard. But their A players engaged first. Perhaps Rectify wanted to split it through drop, and they just ended up taking the worst possible engagement as a result.
Very smooth start for Orion, which it should not have been, but a little bit of a more even start to the second round here, as Atlas already picks up 1 frag with that CZ, just now down to 14 HP. Looks like there's going to be a little bit more contention on the B-bomb site this round.
Yeah, and Orion have actually picked this round to go with a much weaker stack. Only 2-2 is the split now after having lost the opening player. But that initial stack was towards the A site, and Rectify were not the slightest bit interested. Now, they have all the players they need hanging out over towards B, and they have the weaponry to make this a very interesting push indeed versus 2 side players.
Now that that execute's coming out, there is going to be a bit of a rotate. And in fact, Gizzy is going to make that for sure call as he gets the first pick onto Godzu. Nightmare is going to fall as well, and Gizzy going absolutely ballistic with that 3K. Harden will finish that off, but Anti will in fact get the final kill with that MP7, get that bomb defuse. It shouldn't have been easy rounds, but Orion not losing more than 2 people either of those rounds.
Yeah, that will put Orion now at a pretty dominant lead, but it should be noted Rectify got that bomb plant, so they don't buy this round, or at least they won't buy more than a few upgraded pistols, and they should have a full next. Although, hold up, never mind, they've just committed a little bit more money than I'd expected. And you can see armor bought up on several. I'm very curious what the thought process behind that is. Perhaps they're just going to full commit into drop or something. But that might cost them if they're not able to get the kills this round.
It does in fact look like that's exactly what's going to happen. And help, it looked a little sloppy there. He could have been caught with his pants down, but Harden and Nightmare were not quick enough in drop. But Atlas finding that deagle shot very, very easily, and Cadenza is going to pick up a frag for himself as well. Gizzy, he's going to try to get a little bit of damage done like he did last round. He's only going to find one frag, however. Now these counter-terrorists are on the retake. Cadenza with just the XM versus Anti and SGM.
This is going to be a rough one for him. Only an auto shotgun. However, if he's able to take a close range engagement, either through the backstab here, it is possible. There's a very low HP leader. His shot goes wide, though, and he has to break away. Oh, and the pop blast messes up as well, but he still gets the repeat and still gets decent damage at range. He just needs to stay alive, and if he does, this bomb defuse is all but impossible. He does fall, however. And Orion should pick up the round. They have kits on the side. Yep.
What a great retake that was from both of the Orion players. They only expected closer range weapons, as there was only FAMAS's, the MP7. They found the MP7 and the M4, and they knew that it was going to be a close range engagement, so they took those further away fights. Very smart on their part.
Now, though, it's a full buy round for both teams, and Rectify are going back to this slow default. Just trying to sniff out where any stacks are. If anyone's playing aggressive, punish them hard. But it's them who'll be punished as Gizzy gets a little boost over and drop, and he'll grab Nightmare for free. And now Rectify are very much on the back foot.
Like there's going to be a little bit of contention here in danger. SGM is going to open up with a long pick on Harden. Atlas is going to find a kill onto Anti, which is going to give SGM a free molly kill onto Cadenza. That was a little unexpected, and Atlas himself down to just 10. What a strange turn of events that is. Full buy round and only 2 people left alive around the minute mark. Not necessarily a good situation to be in if you are Rectify Gaming. However, it is still doable.
Yeah, and perhaps they can pull something out of this round as they throw these smokes over to the A site, but SGM should have the hold. Oh, Atlas! What was that shot? He somehow finds the AWPer. But what I was going to say, before Atlas hit a nutty shot, is I'm very curious if Rectify are going to continue with that slow default. Because we've seen that a couple times now, Rack, and almost every time, it's just led to them losing picks as the Orion players go very carefully aggressive.
Yeah, like that aggressive boost up in to drop last round, which wasn't actually all that aggressive because of that one-way smoke.
So, I see Rectify doing a set execute like this, lightning fast, for a few rounds in a row now.
So, it is going to not go in the favor of Rectify, as Filthy already picking up 2 frags for himself, help getting the first pick, however. He was traded shortly after. Filthy with just 4 HP to his name. That's much better than Anti and SGM, who are now dead. Gizzy picking up 2 frags for himself to finish off the round. Now 5-0 on the board in favor of Orion.
Look at the bank that Orion are rolling in now. They can afford to lose a few. By contrast, Rectify are scraping stuff together. UMPs, limited utility, AKs on the rest. Once again, I want to see, and I assume Rectify will go for a hard execute somewhere. Just because this slow default completely has backfired almost every time they've run it. So, I'd be very surprised if they did it again. However, I guess I'll be very surprised, because that's exactly what they're doing. Slow, cautious play, split up around the map, and just hoping for Orion to make a mistake. But thus far, they've been incredibly disciplined, and it's all paid off.
Trying to find any landing shots through those smokes, through those doors that they can. Not finding any, however.
Yeah. I'm a little bit curious. Maybe we could have seen something towards B plat there, because Filthy does have Nightmare cut off if he peeks, but quite happy just to play it cautious, not go for the duel, and that's the right call in Orion's position. Now, the nades come in. He knows there's a challenger, but Nightmare, quick as a flash, is out of there. Looks like the main push for Rectify is going over towards the A side. They're rotating players over now. They're going to have a fake player over at drop by the looks of things. That'll be Godzu, peeking over, making noise, maybe grabbing a frag, and then the main execute comes through over on the A side.
Now as the Terrorists begin their push into A, it looks like SGM is going to get one free kill, but not so easy as he will burn his little feet. Anti and Help getting some kills as well, but Anti will be traded Gizzy as well. Cadenza getting that kill with only 8 HP to his name remaining. Nightmare picking up a second frag for himself in SGM. That is the op now down. 2 M4s to retake this A bomb site. Now it is just one. This could be the first round for Rectify, as Nightmare going absolutely ballistic with that AK-47. He will fall to Filthy, but in the end, Cadenza will finish him off for the first round on the board for Rectify.
Great double peek by Rectify there. You could see when they were trying to work their way through that doors, Orion had to deal with the first challenger, obviously Nightmare. The second Nightmare feels overwhelmed. He falls back. Sure, he falls, but he's forced the player's aim to be drawn so far towards him, there's no way they're going to be able to deal with the second peek from the side, even though that player was fairly low on HP. And now Rectify do have an anti-eco, but if they lose this, it'll be disastrous. They need this execute to go perfectly to book it. Already it hasn't. Filthy grabs one off the entry.
Looks like Arden will get a trade on that. And Nightmare getting a kill onto Gizzy through the boxes. Be long. Already down to a 3-man eco retake. Not going to happen most likely, but if they were to go for it, which it doesn't look like they are, anything's possible, but probability not in their favor. They're just going to be playing from picks in this situation.
I see SGM perhaps peeking something, but no, the rest of them are just going to sit and wait for exits. Anti might find something as the players peel out past him. He's at a close range, and there is the potential to inflict major economic damage here on Rectify. And he'll try and do just that. Nightmare's got him red like a book, rips his head off, and that did not go well at all for Orion. Their economy should allow them to get a bye here. It's going to be a bit of a shaky one though. And Rectify, by contrast, are really getting things going. Now they have a round buffer, or at least they can scrape one together, even if they lose.
Yeah, and just having to deal with that one round out and coming back in with that double op. Best scenario you can be in as Orion.
And I'm going to be interested to see where they put this double op. They've got one going B and the other one hanging out long. Pretty standard positioning. We've already seen SGM find great success from that position. Watch Filthy here. He's got Nightmare, and I think he's just spotted the tip of his head. He's playing awfully close to this smoke. It's going to fade, and Nightmare's caught off guard. He's gone. Gonzu will try and challenge fast, but Filthy is way ahead of him. He's already fallen back, and he's got the aid of an AWP to make sure he can get away clean.
SGM finding an op pick for himself on Cadenza, getting a little cheeky with that push. Same with Anti down in danger, going to find a frag onto Atlas. Already down to just Godzu and Harden on Rectify. They picked up 2 rounds. Doesn't look like they're going to be picking up their third anytime soon.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful play by Orion on the B site hold. And you can see that it's just completely shattered Rectify. I'd actually be entirely in favour of them saving this round. I'm not really sure why Gonzu's going for this challenge, but they're going for it. It's going to be both the bomber and his teammate going towards B.
And they will get a trade, not a good scenario to be in. Gizzy showing off his op skills as well, getting a little bit of a full fast clicking action there, getting a frag in the round, but was not unexpected to say the least.
No, and it ends up with Rectify now being down 6-2. And this is where I would have said they should have saved. Because instead of throwing 2 bodies at a very well-held B site, they would have had the rifles now that they need for these 2 players who are broken, left on CZs and Eagles. Maybe a bit of a misplay there by Rectify, and they're going to have to work their way out over towards A, which is where they've committed. I don't think they know about this close peak, though, and it's a mad spray down. Cadenza will shut it down, though. Great play.
Well, it does have potential to still win Orion the round as 2 players were lit. Harden able to get a kill onto Filthy before SGM will kill Cadenza. Harden getting the trade, however, picking up the bomb. 2v4. It didn't look like it could happen, but Rectify, against all odds, are at least going to get the plant. And Godzu making this even harder for Gizzy. Now with just that AWP versus 4 on the retake. They've gotten back their rifles 1M4, but 3 AK-47s, as was in the beginning of this round. Looks like
Gizzy.
those saving players Harden did pretty well. Gizzy staying back, not wanting to get picked, but back against the wall here. Nightmare's going to sneak up behind him and get a free frag onto him to finish off the round. A third round now on the board for Rectify, and they're going to get a free AWP out of it.
That was really weird because I thought that was a great little team play by Orion. They threw out a flashbang. They flashed, what, 3-4 players inside that A-Main? And then they had the quick peek by the close player with an AK. And I thought, oh my god, that's brilliant team play by Orion. They're going to get like a triple spray down. It's absurd. And then Cadenza just one-taps him. No, kid, sit down. And off that, well, the round just kind of unfolded because they then knew the positions of multiple players. Here, Rectify challenging fast towards B because he's already got a boost up. And he's going to be able to shut down Godzu.
Those boosts are just so deadly
Oh,
and drop from Orion.
So they throw out the smoke. Gizzy throws down his UMP to his teammate. They boost again, and he retrieves an AK. Nicely done.
The best way to put in this half buy. They end up with an AK so early in the round. Low plays now coming in from Rectify. Hasn't always worked in their favor, but it could. They do have the economic advantage, not necessarily the man advantage, but Gizzy just has 23 HP. He barely walked out of that fight with his life, but a life is a life regardless. Rotates being called towards the B bomb site as nades are now being thrown. Cadenza opening up with a kill onto Filthy. Every single player now on the B bomb site. It's going to be absolutely brutal, an absolute bloodbath as Harden and Cadenza both pick up frags. Bomb is now down. Now it's just down to Anti with that CZ. He is probably not going to find any kills here. Definitely not, as Atlas will finish him off. Another round on the board for Rectify.
That was a very good take by Rectify because they knew it was an anti-eco, so you could see them maintain those ranges at all time. And I really liked that because sure you have the players taking the site, but then they had 2-3 players just hanging out near the plat area, slowly making sure that they could cover against sneaky smoke plays, that type of thing that's all too common on eco rounds. And now Orion, to be fair, are in a bit of a tough spot. They are left with only a few upgraded pistols and a dangerously narrowing scoreline. Gizzy, he's gone for the boost again. Surely they'll see it coming this time.
There's no way they even risk.
Oh yeah, Nightmare's got him. They have a counter boost. Nightmare gets boosted up. Oh no, Gizzy's committing. They don't expect this at all. There's no way they see this coming, and Gizzy's all tucked up in a neat little position. Nightmare's gonna walk right past him. It works again, Rack.
It's another free AK-47 from just smart positioning and a smart play. Gizzy, he is going places. That's
been consistently free rifles, and you cannot afford to allow Orion to get away with things like that. They'll go for the A side execute. I think that's a smart play. Anti's hiding here in the smoke. Around the corner, praying he's not noticed. Hard to find the opening bracket. Anti's got 2 with the CZ. Wow!
Atlas will shut him down with that AWP, but man advantage to Orion. Gizzy with that AK-47. Filthy getting a kill onto Atlas. Could completely turn this around. It did not look good at all, but Orion will actually win the round as Filthy gets that final kill onto Godzu with that P250. 7 rounds now for Orion. Back on the board after 2 lost rounds.
That is dirty. Orion should not have got that, but they consistently were able to get away with these weird, cheeky plays, like boosting up, like sitting in the corner, and those absurd kills that they were finding are the result of Rectify just not checking their corners, not using their nades. That really does backfire against you, especially in anti-eco rounds. Now Rectify are trying very quick over on the B site with a set smoke execute, and so far so good.
It looks like Gizzy is going to find the first kill here. The bottom of that smoke, pick up a second as well. This kid is just so good at seeing through those little narrow openings and smokes. Cadenza gonna jump through, pick up a frag for himself, but Gizzy just flicking around. He's gonna end up with a 4K before Filthy gets the final kill onto Godzu to finish off the round. 8 rounds now for Orion. They have won the half.
Rectify had a really cool smoke execute there, and it completely walled off the site. It worked completely as planned, but they never dealt with Gizzy, obviously. He was just able to sit there around the statue, find frag after frag, and they kept challenging him one by one, and he kept hitting all of them. Well, if you let Gizzy get away with stuff like that, then you're going to lose rounds, and a lot of them if the current scoreline is anything to go by.
Looks like Ante is going to find a couple free frags here in middle at this point in time. Looking for another as well, and he will pick up 4 for himself. Now it's just Godzu. They just kept walking into his gun. Just kept finding kill after kill.
Rectify.
Still with about 80 HP.
They have this consistent thing where there's a player that's causing problems, and they keep challenging him one by one, and you cannot afford to do that. They have so much utility that they didn't spend that last round. They did not have much this round, so it's forgivable. But it's a consistent problem. I'd love to see better teamwork, more double peaks, that type of thing. And surely Rectify can work that into their play.
Yeah, especially at this main level. But you do have to take into account that every single player except, I think, Filthy on Orion is rank G, and on Rectify they only have 2 rank G players, whereas they're just A. So
I mean, you do at a certain point just have kind of fragging. This player is going to hit more frags, and that is unfortunate, but you can absolutely counter that with great team play. We've seen legendary teams across Counter-Strike do that. So there's no reason Rectify can't do it here.
yeah, but we do see that dirty play coming in from that opening pick from SGM a few seconds ago in middle. Quite the peak, shoot, fallback in middle. Absolutely crazy. But now it looks like these terrorists, scared off by SGM, are going toward B bomb site through B main, slowly through that smoke.
Oh, look at this close hole. Filthy. Oh, that's
Gizzy!
He's got one.
Already picking up
Oh
kills
my
for
god, he
himself.
gets 2.
Like help. Playing from drop down to just 17 HP. Top Flash is going to go out to let his teammates rotate in. The 2v3. Not going to be a retake quite yet. It doesn't look like they are quite sure if it's safe to plant the bomb at this point in time. They're going to let Ante get down hardened down to just 32 HP. Is not... again, it's the team play. Has almost completely screwed Rectify at this point. These counter-terrorists are now pushing in. Both of the terrorists are low on HP. In fact, a simple frag grenade killed Ante. And a good shot to help. It wouldn't have mattered no matter what, because that was with the AK to the head. Still, it was a little sloppy on the team play, but it was a good play. They got the bomb plant. They're going to be able to get somewhat of a goodbye into this last round of the half.
Help hit some nutty shots that round, so we're going to put that on the check mark for do Orion have insane players? Yes. Should Rectify also maybe address some of their team play issues? Yes. And I think that absolutely would resolve some of these situations. They're going hard towards A here. Gizzy is flashed, but they're letting him get unblinded, and he's just watching this angle. The second they peek this, it's going to get ugly.
So
There's the rifle shots. Oh my god, Gizzy and SGM, they shut it down.
SGM, he's already on 3 kills for himself. Gizzy only got 1. SGM picking up his 4th frag as well with that AWP. They were just walking through his funnel of pain. Picked up 4 frags just in a few seconds.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Why do you try and peek that angle dry? They had a flashbang for it. They did flash Gizzy. And then they waited till he was unflashed, and then they peeked. One by one. And that's just Maybe a sign that Rectify are tilting, maybe a sign they're not used to cobblestone. I don't know what it is, but that's definitely a trouble spot, and hopefully they do manage to resolve it. Here on the CT side, maybe you're back in your element and you're able to play better.
That is all you can hope for if you are Rectify Gaming. But for now, looks like these terrorists are going to stack towards the B-bomb side, as will the counter-terrorists. So, it should be a pretty good gunfight. Walking on out now are the terrorists, already taking somewhat of control, or what seemed like control before Nightmare got a kill onto Filthy. Will be traded by Help, already on 2 frags for himself. The new and improved Block 18, Gizzy and Help finding another frag. Now it's just Godzu. They're taking these close-range engagements, which is what you need to do in this scenario. Godzu picking up a kill for himself onto Gizzy. Another onto Anti, but Help will eventually shut him down with the 4K in the pistol round.
Godzu hit some nutty shots there, but he was the only player on this team who really played that retake right. You have 2 players on the side, they're cut off by smokes. So the 3 players playing the retake either push through the smokes instantly, so they can be there taking the fight with the rest of their team, or you wait behind, you wait for the smokes to clear, and then you push. They did the worst of both worlds. They waited for the players on the side to get fragged, and then they ran through the smokes one by one. Rectify lost 2 players for free, basically, there. And it's a continued sign of perhaps their endemic problems here on Cobblestone.
Looks like they need to widen their map pool, at least include Cobble into it. But then again, it could just be the team play issue. Also, Orion, all of their players out fragging. Just in a one-on-one duel, these Orion players will win every single time. Including Filthy right there, peeking at Atlas, getting a kill. Anti with the Galil as well. And Gizzy, it's not even where the bomb's going. He's just getting 3 kills. 2 on himself before Godzu finally finishes him off. SGM looking to finish off the round. And that UMP, not the best weapon to have in this scenario, but
Godzu's doing great.
Get the kill. Yeah, he is doing insane for his team as he also kills Anti. He needs to get the ace. It's not going to happen as Filthy finishes him off with that UMP. It's going to be 13 rounds for Orion.
You know, I've been awfully hard on Rectify. I'd like to take a moment to appreciate Godzu. He's played almost every situation just tactically correctly. He's near the top frag of his team, I believe tied with Kadzerna. But the thing he's doing really good is just he's taking intelligent fights and he's hitting nutty shots. So, great spot of light there for Rectify.
It's a little disheartening in a scenario like this. Oh my goodness. But Gizzy going to find mini frags. Such an aggressive play, which sounds like it would work so well. Just all pushing in to that banner room. Doesn't work out in the end. They're all just gonna fall. They were not expecting to run into Gizzy yet again, who is absolutely demolishing on Orion's side. He is 24 and 10, opposed to Godzu, who is 10 and 17. Now Godzu kind of picked it up in this half itself.
Yeah, Godzu's been doing a great job, but I mean, it's just been the whole team of Orion landing exactly the same shots, playing the right engagements. Now they go for this B-take, and they do have a little bit of a shaky start, but they're able to punish a missed position here by Nightmare and Kadzerna. Godzu with 2, that's the answer they're looking for, and the hope in the round. It's swiftly shut out, though.
Izzy picking up that frag for himself, as you were expecting to see from him. These 2 counter-terrorists on the retake, not going to be easy for them. Look at that spray control from Gizzy and Anti finishing off Atlas. It's not even fair. Match point now for Orion.
15-4 and Rectify. Oh, that's such a rough buy as well to have to defend match point against. For 11 rounds consecutively. You know, I've been hard on Rectify, but I believe if any team can land 11 consecutive rounds and tie this matchup, it would be Rectify. I believe in them. Got such limited utility to do it with though, but they have started off well. Nice little aggressive flashbangs, and Godzu's in a great position to backstab Help here. Nicely done.
Very quick trade as Atlas gets a kill on to Gizzy. It's going to make it a little easier. SGA killing Godzu. That's top frag for top frag. Fairly good trade, I would say, but Harden killing Anti. Going to change this up quite a bit. Harden.
Look at how split the remaining Orion players are. They're not consolidated onto any site because Bomb was left all the way back in T-spawn. Perhaps getting a little sloppy with victory in sight, and that may cost them. Because both Atlas and Kanzana are both playing really safe positions on the site, Chicken Coop and just outside the A site. So they're going to have a quick rotate wherever it is, and they're going to be able to stay alive long enough to bring both players to leverage.
2v2 here. This could go very well for Rectify. So they're kind of playing towards the connector area. The flash is now out.
Nice.
Looks like Cadenza will land the shot on to Filthy, but Atlas was actually going back towards the A site before that actually happened. SGM versus Cadenza. It is going to be rifle versus rifle here. For the game, even. SGM lands this. That will be GG. Cadenza, the only chance for Rectify. He will fall a little short, and SGM going absolutely crazy once again, will finish off the game for Orion.
16-4 Orion with a pretty dominant victory. Rectify, though, they had signs of light. They had two very impressive players, Cadenza and co. were doing a great job all game long. Godzu was taking really intelligent engagements. So I'd like to see them, maybe go back to the drawing board on Cobblestone, maybe sort out a bit of your team play, get some better comms. But they have the starting point for a great team there. And Orion, well, they're already there, looking very impressive.
What a good start to this second match for both teams in Main, Season 26 on ESEA. It was a very good start if you are an Orion player, team owner, coach, fan, what have you. Little less happy if you are Rectify. However, both games have been on Cobble. Clearly a sloppier map for them. So should all be up and up from here for them. But as it is for us over here at CSGM, I think it's time that we bid you adieu. It is me, Rack, and of course
TJ, I think.
Yes, I
Still
think as
unsure.
well. Yeah.
Hopefully.
And as always, you frag.
We cast.